Hello and welcome to an Affinity Revolution tutorial. My name is Ezra Anderson, and today we're going to learn how to use the Color Picker tool inside Affinity Designer. To learn how the Color Picker works, we're going to be using this exercise file. Inside this file, we have a regular photo that's been placed inside the document, and 3 stars that were made using the star tool that comes with Affinity Designer. To use the color picker, you first need to select a layer or object inside your document. I'm going to click on the star on the far left to select it. Then I'm going to bring out the color picker tool. Up in the contextual toolbar, make sure that you have Apply to Selection checked on. Now you can click anywhere inside the document and it will sample that color and apply it to the layer that you have selected. So if I click on the red tomato, then it will apply that color to the star. I could also click on the orange tomato to apply orange or apply yellow, green, blue, or purple. It's important to note that right now, the color picker is only sampling a single pixel. You can see this better if I zoom into the photo. We can see that this photo is made up of thousands of individual pixels. Depending on which one I click on, it will sample a different color. Notice how the color changes inside the color panel as I click on these different pixels. As you can see, the color changes quite a bit depending on which pixel I click on. One way to minimize this is to increase the radius of where we're sampling. We can change it from sampling a single pixel to taking the average of multiple pixels. Now as I click on these different pixels, you'll notice that the color changes far less. I'm going to zoom back out by pressing Command or Control 0. Another option the color picker gives us is to turn off Apply to Selection. Now I can sample a color, and it won't be applied to any object in my document. Instead, the color will be saved up here in the color panel. This allows me to apply a color I've selected at a later point. For example, later on while I'm working inside this document, I might want to change the color of one of these other stars. To do this, all I would need to do is select one of the stars, and then press on the sampled color up in the color panel. One of the weaknesses of the color picker tool is that we can only sample colors from inside the document. You can see that if I go outside of the document, my cursor changes to a regular black arrow. This means I can no longer sample colors. It's only when I'm inside the document that I can sample a color. However, Affinity Designer gives us a second color picker tool. This tool can be found inside the color panel. This color picker is very similar but has some strengths and weaknesses compared to the tool that we've been looking at. To use this tool, just click and drag on it to sample a color. You'll notice that the color is stored up inside the color panel. Just as before, we can click on this sampled color to apply it to our selection. The options for this color picker are more limited than the tool that we were looking at originally. As you click and drag to sample a color, you'll notice that there's no option to average multiple pixels together or to apply our sampled color directly to our selection. Instead, we always sample a single pixel and it's always stored up here without being directly applied to the object we have selected. But this color picker does have one incredible feature, and that is the ability to sample a color outside of your document. This color picker allows you to sample a color from anywhere on your screen. For example, I can click and drag on the color picker to sample the color of the magnet up here. Incredibly, the color picker tool inside the color panel is not limited to sampling colors inside Affinity Designer. It can sample colors from any application that you have opened on the computer. One great use for this tool is to go to color.adobe.com. This website is completely free and allows you to easily pick colors that follow all of the color principles needed to look good together. Just click and drag on any of these circles, and then use the color picker tool to sample these colors that you've chosen. By using both color picker tools inside Affinity Designer, you should easily be able to select any colors that you need to make beautiful designs.